sense of simplicity. Andy Kamhe never imagined could be part of his life one day. Young notices Lin visiting a grave. Andy placing flowers on it. Curious, he asks Delapanbol about it. Andy has shares Lin's tragic story. Years ago, before the town fell to ruin, a band of outlaws invaded, seizing control. During this time, Lin was captured and handed over to serve their leader's twisted desires. However, she managed to escape, throwing hot oil on his face in a desperate bid for freedom. Furious, the man shot at her and she fell unexpectedly. Lin's father rushed to help, only to be shot in the chest and killed instantly. Her mother and baby sister met the same fate, dying right before her eyes while Lin survived. From that day on, Lin was consumed by a burning desire for revenge. She practiced throwing knives tirelessly, determined to avenge her family. One day, moved by her story, Young decides to teach Lin how to throw a knife with precision. He blindfolds her and stands in front of the target, guiding her to trust her instincts and focus. At first, Lin hesitates, but with Young's encouragement, she manages to throw the knife with her eyes closed, hitting the target without harming Young. Inspired by his courage, Lin grows more curious about Young, testing him further by throwing a stone at April from behind. Young reacts instantly, catching the stone midair, leaving April safe from Lin's action that night. Lin, still intrigued by Young, asks why he's called the sad flute with a cold tone. Young explains that the name comes from the haunting, flute-like sound that arises when they sever a neck. Lin then gives him a necklace, a keepsake from her mother, and in return Young presents her with a pair of swords. Excited, Lin swings the swords, and he catches a glimpse of Young's legendary blade. She tries to unsheath it, curious, but fails as Young has sealed it to prevent the cries of the souls he's claimed from escaping at that moment. He reveals that unlocking the sword would alert his clan to his whereabouts, binding him once more to the life he left behind. Meanwhile, the leader of the Sad Flute clan and his followers continue to track Young, drawing ever closer like shadows that refuse to vanish. During this time, Young devotes himself daily to training Lin in the art of swordsmanship, teaching her masterful, powerful techniques with each precise movement. Night after night, they practice intensely under a star-filled sky, the training sessions bringing them closer with each passing day. One evening, in the midst of their sword practice, Lin suddenly steps forward and without a word kisses Young, startled and inexperienced in matters of love. Young stands frozen, captivated by the surprising yet thrilling moment. As a result, a warmth spreads through him, and his hand instinctively brushing his lips as he tries to grasp this unfamiliar feeling. Not long after, a group of outlaw cowboys returns to town, apparently in search of Lin. However, the townspeople have hidden her away, so the outlaws turn their aggression on the townsfolk, targeting the clown as a shooting practice dummy, and dragging the Owo town drunk behind a horse with a rope. When Lin spots the leader among them, she is filled with rage, eager to take him down. But Delapanbol and the others manage to restrain her, tying her to a post for her own safety. Sensing the danger, Young also confiscates the sword he had given Lin. Yet Lin has a clever trick up her sleeve. She has hidden a knife in her boot. Using it, she manages to break free. The ruthless outlaw leader then continues his hunt for a new victim, seeking women with a strange preference for perfect, clean teeth. Moments after, he finds a suitable target, but as her husband begs for mercy, the leader mercilessly shoots them both, leaving them dead on the spot. As their two teenage daughters run to their fallen parents, the leader's men seize the girls, intending to exploit them as well. During this time, Lin suddenly appears in a striking red dress, offering herself as a willing distraction for the outlaw leader disguised as a temptress. She plans to kill him and exact her revenge. Meanwhile, the townsfolk, realizing that Lin has escaped, rushed to Young's laundry shop. Knowing Lin must be seeking revenge, Young reluctantly unlocks his legendary sword. The moment he does, the cries of those claimed by the blade echo through the night, drawing the attention of the sad flute leader, who immediately rallies his forces. Returning to Lin, she stands ready to confront the outlaw leader. However, her plan falters when he recognizes her distinct scent. Realizing her true intentions, as a result, Lin is held at gunpoint. But Young suddenly appears, cutting down the outlaws with ruthless strike. As the outlaw leader tries to flee, Lin hurls a knife at him, catching him just as he attempts his escape. But as his mask falls, it's revealed Wei is merely a decoy. The real leader has managed to slip away, disappearing from the town once again. Realizing his presence might bring greater danger, Young decides to leave the desolate town. However, Delapan and the townsfolk stand in his way, explaining that the outlaws will inevitably return. Enraged by Lin's actions, however tired from years of oppression, the townspeople have decided to fight back. Hearing their resolve, Young chooses to stay and help. Together they dig a hidden grave, revealing hidden weapons, bullets and explosives. Surprisingly, the town Drangkron, who had been humiliated by being dragged behind a horse, is actually a retired sharpshooter. That night, the two former killers sit in the ruins of a garden, shedding stories under the night sky. Ron recounts how he once lived as a criminal, until a woman changed his path, inspiring him to leave his dark past behind. Touched by his story, Young seeks out Lin and returns her swords, empowering her for the battle ahead. The next morning, the town bell rings, signaling the enemy's approach. The townspeople then take their positions, prepared to defend their home. During this time, Young stands at the front lines, wielding his legendary sword, while Don positions himself with his sniper rifle atop the tall carousel, ready to provide cover. As the cowboys arrive, they immediately ready their guns. Soon they scale the carousel in an attempt to capture Ron. With quid sinking, Ron makes a daring escape and detonates the carousel, turning it into a graze for the cowboys trapped inside. But the surviving outlaws regroup, launching a brutal attack on the townspeople, who were driven into hiding. In the middle of the fight, masked ninjas suddenly appear on the rooftops, signaling that the Sad Flute clan has arrived, escalating the chaotic battle. During this time, Young confronts members of his own clan, cutting them down skillfully and swiftly, showing the mastery that once made him a feared assassin. As Young and Lin flee toward the laundry shop, they're relentlessly pursued by ninjas. They then entrust Delapan with April, asking him to protect her. However, Delapan is soon killed, and April is captured by the outlaw leader. Hearing her cries, Young charges toward the hideout, where only the outlaw leader remains. To face Lin's revenge, however, his fight is far from over, as Young still has to fight the leader of the Sad Flute clan, his former master. The man, considering Young a traitor, immediately challenges him to a duel. During an intense duel, Young faces his master in a silent, while the duel itself remains unseen. The outcome is clear as Young stands victorious. Soon after, his master, defeated with a single fateful strike to the neck. With the battle concluded, Young bids farewell to Lin and the remaining townsfolk. With a wavy hat, he explains that he must leave, as members of the Sad Flute clan could arrive at any moment, posing a danger to anyone close to him. For the April's safety, he entrusts her to Lin, who tearfully accepts the responsibility. Shedding one last meaningful glance, Young turns and walks away, leaving behind the town and the people who have become a part of his life. And with this, the film comes to a close.